and just hand it over to you.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you.
I'm in a situation where I have to use two devices. So thanks for understanding. And yeah, let me know if you're ready.
Okay. Yeah, I I think we're all set. I'll just kind of set the stage. Thanks everybody for joining. I'm Doug Brunke, and the founder and CEO of Global Chamber. And Yelim Ku has been a project manager with us for the last several years or last several months. And we've known her for years. She was an intern with us last year, last summer. And I would say I think we had like 12 interns last summer, and she was by far the best, I thought. And so when she graduated in December and she was available to do some work, I was really pleased because she's really smart. I remember when I first met her, she was more focused in on, or at least in my head, I thought what she was saying was consumer marketing. She had done some work in the cosmetics industry, and that was a lot of her focus. So I wasn't sure whether that more particular focus would be a good fit for Global Chamber. But it turns out she's broader than that and very interested in global trade and business, and also agreed to do some projects for us. And so actually, I'll mention two of the projects that are kind of coming together right now are GC communities, which we're going to be talking about today, and also there's an app that's been developed for Global Chamber, and we're not really going to talk about that too much today. The app, that is, because it's not public yet. But I was very excited to get an update yesterday on that it's basically ready for data entry and rollout. And so the good news is it's an app that allows you to see where other members are, to be able to connect to them in a more readily easy way. One of our members was asking yesterday, they wanted to be connected to people in these 4 or 5 countries, and unfortunately the way it works is now you've got to either go through GC communities and ask people, or you just let Cesar or I know and we'll start making the connections. And that's not a long-term viable way. It's worked okay and people are very happy, members have been, but long-term, and definitely now in the short term, we need better ways for members to connect with each other more directly without going through headquarters, if you will. So the good news is that's coming, and it's very close. In the meantime, GC Communities is using WhatsApp solution, and that's one of the things that Yelim is going to be talking about today. Our belief is that global trade, we need a community. Yesterday, Cesar and I, was Cesar there? I think so, right? Yeah, Cesar, you were there. When we had a conversation with an organization called FIT, F-I-T-T, which centers around the idea that we can teach how to do trade in a professional way. And for whatever reason, Global Chamber hasn't been connected to them. I don't know why, because their founder and we have very similar thought processes, and that, hey, global trade is hard. So why do we all seem to reinvent the wheel? All of us, get involved, and all of us have imperfect information and imperfect networks. And so why can't we accelerate that process? Why can't we be better, faster? And so everything that we do is centered around that. Everything that we do is centered around members. And so Yelim today is going to be talking about some of the key aspects of you as members, how best to get value, how to take the shortcuts, how to not reinvent the wheel. Almost everything's already been done. It's now, let's pull it together, because we're better together, and we're better as a village. Yelim, thank you for all of your good work on GC communities and on the app and in other areas, including young global leaders. What would you like to share today about membership value? And I know certainly GC communities is one of them.
Yes, thank you, Doc, for a warm introduction. Hi, my name is Yelim Ku. I'm the project manager at Global Chamber. Actually, this is my last week at Global Chamber, and this is going to be my last Globinar for GC communities, and it's been a pleasure working with you all. And here for the GC communities, like Doc mentioned, I'm going to explain what is the structure of the GC communities and how you can utilize GC communities to benefit as Global Chamber member. Here, I would like to share my screen so you can have a better understanding of how it looks like and how you can utilize GC communities. Okay, I have to use two devices. So let me know if you can see my screen well. Probably I'm gonna pin myself.
Yeah, we don't see the presentation, but we see the screen showing as Zoom.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
So you probably just need to switch screens as well.
Yes. I'll pin myself.
There we go. They work.
Very good. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. So yeah, so today, this Globinar connecting and gaining value at Global Chamber is mainly for GC communities. What is the value that you can get from GC communities as Global Chamber member? So first things first, for those who haven't joined Global Chamber community and who doesn't know how to utilize GC communities yet, this is how it looks like. So if you join the Global Chamber community on WhatsApp, you will see the announcement group chat, and you'll also be able to see all the groups that you can join. I already joined all the groups. That's why it says groups you are in. But for those who just joined the Global Chamber community, you should be able to see all the group options that you can join. So if you join the Global Chamber community announcement group chat, the first thing is the announcement group chat that you can see. For this announcement group chat, so if you join the group in the communities, you will automatically be part of our GC announcement group chat, where we are communicating all the events and new opportunities. So for instance, for this Globinar, Jemima has had announced that this Globinar will happen in 30-minute or 15-minute. So all this official Global Chamber events, it will be announced in this announcement group chat. And there are one thing that you should be aware of for the announcement group chat. So if you leave the announcement group chat, you will also automatically exit the community. So you should not leave the announcement group chat unless you leave the community. So make sure you are in the announcement group chat, so you are also part of the other groups underneath the Global Chamber community. And these groups that you should be able to see and all the options that you can see, we have two main groups. The two types of main groups, which is the topical groups. We currently have around 40 topical groups, and the regional groups. I will explain more about the more details later on, but we used to have two types of community, which is the topical groups community and the regional groups community. But we decided to merge into the one place so we can make it more simplified and streamlined. So now we have one primary Global Chamber community, and underneath the community, like umbrella, you'll be able to see all the groups, including the topical groups and the regional groups. So for the topical groups, if you join the Global Chamber community, you'll be able to see all the topical groups, so you can engage in discussions and share information on specific topics like market segments or business functions, such as AI tech, sustainability, or semiconductor, and etc. And also regional groups that you can see how you can differentiate from the regional topical groups and regional groups is for the regional groups, there is GC in front of the name. For instance, GC LA, GC India, GC Texas, GC South Korea. So if you're looking for regional groups underneath the Global Chamber community, look for GC blah blah, GC XYZ. So if you also join the Global Chamber community, it's still the same Global Chamber community, you'll be able to access all the regional groups so you can enhance connectivity and collaboration within specific geographic areas. And these regional communities will allow members to engage more deeply with opportunities and insights specific to their regions of interest. And I always emphasize this for in every Globinar, but we highly, highly encourage and recommend everyone to join the groups that you're interested in. For instance, if you're looking for someone who is specialized in AI and tech for game industry or game industry in South Korea, we highly encourage you to join AI and tech group and South Korea group. But if you're not interested in, for instance, Kazakhstan area, we are not encouraging you to join the group. So make sure you're joining all the groups that you're highly interested in. I mentioned it briefly before, but we had to restructure the regional global chamber communities, and the reason why we did that, this is just to clarify confusion, which might have caused because of the restructuring the regional global chamber communities. So the reason why we decided to restructure regional global chamber community is to enhance global chamber members' experience and reduce any confusion. And these regional groups underneath the main community, while still the same, have now been moved to the underneath the main GC community section, which originally housed only topical groups. And this is aimed at improving accessibility and streamlining the way that Global Chamber members can connect with other members regionally and globally. And you'll still be able to engage with the same people and the content, but now in a more organized and centralized space. So if you had joined the regional Global Chamber communities before, please make sure you join the primary Global Chamber community so you can have access to the regional groups underneath the main community. So these are the regional groups that we currently have underneath the primary GC community. So now we have GC North America, GC Latin America, GC Africa, blah, 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 to GC India. I'm going to share this PPT slides in this Zoom chat later on. So if you are interested in joining this particular regional group, you can just directly click it and you can just join the group underneath the community. So yeah, that was like basic structure and the features of the how the structure of the global chamber looks like. But now I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna cover more like the questions that we got from the global chamber members about the GC communities. And if you have any questions, feel free to interrupt me and just you can unmute yourself and ask me questions as well. Everything so far so good? Is there anyone who has a question or any opinions, thoughts?
Sounds like we're okay.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so how to start instead of WhatsApp. So this GC communities are built on WhatsApp, but for those who are not familiar with using WhatsApp, this is the guideline that you can start, how you can download the WhatsApp and how you can start creating the account for WhatsApp and etc. But again, I'm going to share the Zoom link. I'll share this slides link at the Zoom chat. So if you are not familiar with WhatsApp, I highly recommend you to watch this guideline video. And the next question that I'd like to cover is how to protect yourself from suspicious messages and scams. So WhatsApp is safe social media, but still, I don't think all the social media that we currently use is 100% safe. So us, Global Chamber members, we are highly, highly recommending you to aware of how you can protect yourself from suspicious messages and scams when you're using the GC communities on WhatsApp. And here is how you can do it. First thing first, pause and think. So look out for suspicious behavior. For instance, are they using an unknown number? Are they rushing you? Are they being threatening or asking you to trust them? Are they asking you to transfer money or share a password, PIN, or personal information? And if you think they're doing one of the following things, the first thing that you should do is stop the conversation. hang up a call or stop replying to the user. And if you cannot verify the contact's identity, do not share any personal or financial information. And next thing is block and report. So you have to block the user to stop them from contacting you and report them to the WhatsApp. The next thing is update your privacy and security settings. You have to adjust your privacy settings to control who you can see your personal information and contact you. And you can also enable two-step verification feature to better secure your account. So when you are using GC communities, it's good to know that how you can protect yourself from the scam and suspicious messages, and make sure you are familiar with this guideline. The next thing is what are the ideal criteria for adding other non-members. So our primary GC communities is exclusive for members. So we initially provided the link and the QR code through the newsletter and email to the members only, so we can ensure the community remains private. So please do not share on social media, including LinkedIn. You can definitely talk about the testimonials or how you made good connections with other Global Chamber members through GC communities, but do not share any link or the QR code that people can join the GC community directly. So again, this community is for GC members and is not intended to be public. And if there are any non-members who would like to join the communities, please reach out to Doc and Cesar via email or WhatsApp, and we are there. We are here to help you. The next thing is members introduction and identification. So if you join the group, and if you are the new member, new participant in the group, please include their names in the introduction when you're introducing yourself. So please include your names in the introduction. Also, for other people, so if you're trying to introduce other people to the new members, if you're introducing the new member to current members in the group chat, please include their names in the introductions, because while their numbers may appear on your phone, others will only see the numbers unless their names are explicitly mentioned. So if you can see the screenshot here, it just shows @ and their number, not their name. So we highly recommend to explicitly mention their names, and you can mention their name. So additionally, we encourage you to save the contacts of fellow members for more efficient communication in the future as well. The next thing is profile setup reminder. When you are communicating with other Global Chamber members in the community, the first thing that new members can see is your profile. So it's important to set up your profile professionally, and we highly recommend you to use your professional, like the full name for your professional or business setting friendly name, so other members are aware that you join the community, instead of using the nickname or just like, for instance, YK, like people are not be able to recognize who you are. So when you're setting up your profile for GC communities, make sure you're using the appropriate business setting name for your profile. So to enhance networking and fosters connections within our community, we encourage everyone to set up their profile picture and display name, and this will help new members to easily identify and learn more about you, facilitating more meaningful interactions. The next thing is joining groups in community access mobile app and desktop. So the GC communities offers many groups that you can join, but please note that unlike the mobile WhatsApp app, you cannot see groups that you haven't joined on the desktop version. So to access and view all the community groups on desktop, make sure you join them first via the mobile app. So even though WhatsApp is offering two versions, which is the mobile version, mobile app version, and the desktop version, WhatsApp is more like mobile app friendly social media. So we highly recommend you to join all the groups via phone. So you should be able to see all the groups that you have already joined in your desktop version. And this is the Global Chamber Community Guidelines. So this is the guidelines for the GC community and our Global Chamber members. And make sure you're familiar with this guideline before you join or while you are utilizing the GC communities to and connect with other Global Chamber members. And the first thing is value-driven discussions. Share valuable information and new opportunities for Global Chamber members. And if a conversation turns to a one-on-one exchange, please move it to a private chat to keep the group focused and relevant. So for instance, if you start a conversation about the AI and tech, and if you're looking for someone who can invest into your business, you reach out to them in the group chat and you found someone who is interested in that. We highly recommend you to move it to the private chat so we can keep the group focused and more relevant. And the second thing is introduce yourself. If you're new, please instead of just like staying in the group chat, we highly recommend you to introduce yourself if you're new to the group chat and share your LinkedIn profile. And we also recommend you to save fellow members' contacts for smoother communication in the future. The next thing is set up your profile. I emphasized it already before, but again, please set up your profile picture and a display name to help others easily identify and connect with you. And please use your full name or a name appropriate for a business setting and avoid nicknames or informal names. The next thing is stay on topic. So share only content that is relevant to the group's purpose. Facilitators, so we have facilitators for each group assigned. So facilitators will remind members to stay on topic. And if there's any repeated off topic or spam posts, they will be subject to removal. So make sure you're staying on topic. For instance, if you are an AI and tech group and you just go into the groups, like bunch of groups, and just pitch yourself without any context, that will be one of the things that we don't recommend you to do it. So make sure you're aware of what's going on in the group chat, introduce yourself, and make sure you stay on topic for each group. The next thing is engage positively, support valuable contributions by liking, commenting, and engaging with the content shared. If there's any post from the facilitator, make sure you also have a comment for that post, or you can just like, or you can also be engaged in the discussions and share your thoughts and opinions about that. So please make sure you are engaged positively and your thoughts and your ideas are very valued in each group. So engage positively by commenting, liking, and engaging with the content shared. The next thing is invite members only. So again, this Global Chamber community is exclusive for the members. So please make sure you invite only Global Chamber members. And for non-members interested in joining, you can contact Doc or Cesar via email or WhatsApp. And stay secure. Again, security is one of the important things when it comes to social media. And us, Global Chamber, we care about your security and your safety when it comes to social media, and GC communities. So if you encounter any suspicious messages or scams, block the user, report them to the WhatsApp, and update your privacy settings, and make sure you do the two-step verification setting as well. And when it comes to GC communities, if it's particularly about the GC communities, and if they pretend like they are one of the GC members and try to get private information, if they're pretending like they're a dog and try to get private information from you, make sure you are letting me, Dog, and Cesar know if it's relevant to the GC communities as well. And yeah, if you have any questions or if you need any help, please feel free to reach out to Doc, Cesar, me, and other HQ members for ideas, help, or anything you need via email or WhatsApp. So those were the guidelines. The next thing that I'd like to, Doc, do you have
thank you, Yelem. Please go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no, you're good. And we have a lot of groups that you can join. And you might be a little bit confused, like what is this group about and what is the purpose of each group? So for those who want to know more details about each group, if you go to the group description, you'll be able to see the group description for each group and the purpose of each group. And how this is how you can see the group description and the facilitator's name as well. So if you go to the group chat, you can click the group name, and for the group information underneath the group information, you should be able to see this group description here and facilitator's name. And now I'm in the process of adding the LinkedIn profile for each facilitator. So if you want to also connect with them on LinkedIn, you can just go to the group description and click their LinkedIn profile as well. So yeah, that will be all from my side. And if you have any questions and any opinions, thoughts, make sure, please feel free to mute yourself or raise your hand here. But in the meantime, Doc, do you have any comments?
Thank you, Yellen. Yeah, I think kind of building on how we started, the LinkedIn and WhatsApp and these universal platforms we think are really important, and they're the core. Besides what we're doing, the core of ways for us to connect up with each other, along with the internet. So if, like, I was thinking about what are the main core ways, the internet and email. Number two is LinkedIn, and number three is WhatsApp, and that covers 90% plus. We're members of other platforms, social media platforms like Facebook and X and Instagram, and there's like the Kazakhstan group. Very often I have to jump into Telegram, and I haven't had too much in Signal, but some people are using that as well. And WeChat, I have to find a way to revive my WeChat account, and Line is popular in Japan. And so our vision of the world trade is that we focus in on these core platforms. And I do think the internet, LinkedIn, and WhatsApp are the three. The Yelim talked about scams. They happen everywhere, and we know because somebody's been trying to pretend to be me for the last several years in text messages to various people, threatening them, usually not getting that far to threaten them, but basically inviting them to buy Amazon cards, which, by the way, Amazon cards and convincing someone to buy an Amazon card is the #1 scam in India, as it turns out. Somehow people are able to get enough information to convince people to buy a card for them, and they walk away with the money, and then they try to scam them in the recovery of the money, and that also happens. So the world is full of weird people and dangerous people in LinkedIn as well. There are scams in LinkedIn where people try to convince you that, hey, I've got this new job and all you need to do is this, and just give me your bank account and I'll pay you a commission for such and such. And that's a old scam in LinkedIn. One of our members, I was able to help him avoid getting scammed into that a few years ago. It's still happening because I'm invited occasionally to still do it. It's like people never give up. So we can't avoid that. It is the way it is. It shouldn't stop us from communicating with each other. So our core is that, and wanted to make sure everybody understood that that's kind of our philosophy, and that we want to help. And to help, a lot of times being connected to a lot of people is a good thing. Also understand when people don't want to be connected to a lot of people, to be somewhat off the grid and find a way. And I certainly know people who have strategized that and been very successful. So what are there any questions for people or ideas or thoughts? Because the WhatsApp communities, though not perfect, I have been very enthused by some of the reactions, especially in the motivation group, in the AI and tech group. The interactions are really exciting and wonderful. And even in some of the regional groups where it now allows us to communicate not just global chamber things, but other things that are going on in the community that are global. It's kind of a cool thing. So any questions?
Hi, pleasant day, everyone. Not not a question per se. However, in connection with the names, right? Now with the WhatsApp, having I am very I'm very conscious of my name being out there with the WhatsApp. I'm in other groups as well and more public groups. So I have a general name, but I don't mind having my name within our group, but there's not a feature that you can separate the two. So, you can't have your name in Global Chambers group
Yeah,
alone, where it shows they're alone, and then, you're chosen other name in the other groups. Once I change my name in all groups, it's changed. So that's why
uh,
I have just left what you see that I have there. And I am very, very skeptical because persons have been contacting me on LinkedIn, just like you said with this job, or they have something that they want to share with me and it's good, and I'm so I'm so concerned about all of that. But thanks for sharing the experience, Doug, and I just wanted to bring that to light as to why I have not put my name, where it shows up on the WhatsApp because of other being, exposed in other public groups.
got,
Thanks.
got it. Thank you for sharing, Nicole.
Sounds good. Anything else? Oh, for those who haven't joined the Global Chamber community, this is the QR code. So you can go to the camera and scan the QR code, and you'll be able to access to the Global Chamber community. So for those who haven't joined, but who would like to join, please use this QR code.
Yeah, there's the connection part and there's the exposure part. So Jung Lim is in the call, and with Cultural Vistas, and that's it's a great example of first of all, a wonderful organization. One of the things that they do are place interns, primarily in the U.S. or essentially in the U.S. but certainly the K-West program, or a variety of Korean graduates and students. And so they work through the J-1 visa part of it and get them trained in English. And then these are interns that can be applied in industry in the US. And so exposure of that is important. And so what we try to do is get the exposure or support their exposure of that program in LinkedIn. In other platforms, I think Jem on our team has sent it out into the Facebook and others. And certainly when we think about WhatsApp, the WhatsApp GC communities, the main global community probably makes sense. And we have one that's North America, I believe. We used to have one for the United States, but I think it's called North America. How do we cover the US now, Yelim? Is it through the North America one?
Yes, it's North America.
Okay. So we should I think we've already done it, but we should just make sure that we're doing that. And so for anything that you guys have that you want to be, kind of get the word out on, feel free to focus in on subject matter expert areas like, education or the law or what, those groups that are after those. And then the regional ones, which there is a global one. And then there's a variety of ones that cover specific chapters and regions of the world. So just become familiar with some of those, or when you have something that needs to be communicated, try it yourself. And if we see something that's being partially communicated, or there's something that we probably need to kind of move on to some other group, we will forward it as well as part of our facilitation. That's fairly normal, where somebody posts something and then we post it to other groups because it's applicable. So feel free to do that as well. So there's the exposure piece and getting the word out on important stuff that people should know about. Seeing Ayako here. Ayako is in Southern California, but her services are applicable for companies, probably again mostly in the U.S. And so there's certainly exposure things that we can do, and and then we have events, of course, that apply there. So like tomorrow, the League of Extraordinaries, all members that are service providers should be jumping into that once in a while at least, to be able to share more about who they're looking for so that we are reminded, we headquarters and our chapters, but also other members very often have ideas. And so definitely keep that in mind. Dave Binsfeld has used those. I think he's in the call today. He's had his own insurance company, which recently was acquired by Gallagher, huge insurance company. He's always been a very specialized, but also general insurance leader. And we actually had one of the first League of Extraordinaries hosted by Dave at the Arizona Country Club. So Dave, thank you for your longtime leadership and involvement with Global Chamber. That might have even been before we got founded, but it was certainly a long time ago, probably 10 years or so ago. So thank you for that. And welcome back from vacation. Frank Lieber is here in the call as well. And I know he and I have known each other probably for about that long. And now he has joined from, are you in Zurich now? Where are you located?
Yeah, just transitioning from Frankfurt to Zurich, Switzerland. Yeah, that's right.
Very good. So congratulations on that. And I know
you.
you're coming up to speed and looking forward. I think you're going to be speaking in League of Extraordinaries tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
Dankeschön. Thank you very much.
Bitte.
How do you like Zurich versus Frankfurt?
It's a little more expensive over there.
Yeah.
In Zurich. But it's beautiful. No, I mean it's really day and night. It's very, very safe, which is typical for Switzerland. So we really like it. We enjoy it.
Okay. Very good. Well, we look forward to learning more. I know you've got a specialty around AI and supporting company success through AI. So I'm looking forward to learning more.
Yeah.
My grandmother was from near Stuttgart, but she spent a summer in Zurich, and she met my grandfather in Zurich. So I have a warm place in my heart in the Frankfurt-Stuttgart area of Germany, but also in Zurich as well, or at least stories from another generation.
Oh, very nice.
I think that might be it, Yelim. I don't hear any questions.
Yes, I think so too. And it's 9:40, so I think we need to wrap it up too. But Doug, is there anything that you want to? I think this is going to be the last Globinar for GC communities specifically. So is there anything that you want to share?
Yeah, we'll probably from now on, we'll just, periodically, maybe monthly, just have a conversation about, how to use the various systems of Global Chamber, which include, the LinkedIn groups. We have a company page. We have the group page where we amplify member information. So when you post things, I know we have members who copy us in comments just to make sure that we see an important post of theirs. We're monitoring, several of us are monitoring LinkedIn. So, but even then, you don't see everything there. So if there is something important, just, flag one of us, either Jem or Cesar or myself primarily, and we'll help get the word out on that. So the core of LinkedIn definitely is very important. Always recommend updating your profile, keeping it current, making sure that all your affiliations are connected, that you've got a summary of who you're looking for and some background on you, and that everything is up to speed. The picture included that is current. I was fortunate to be involved with LinkedIn from one of the early days, I think 2005 or something like that, maybe 7. I started. A guy named Ed Nussbaum was one of the first pioneers in that. He later became a pioneer in Clubhouse, and he's largely retired because he made a lot of money in domain names over the years. But he was big on LinkedIn, that this was going to be really big. And it is. It's a critical and essential tool that I find even sometimes when new members come on that are specialists in LinkedIn, that I'll usually ask them to look at my profile, and almost always there's at least one thing wrong that needs to be fixed or is outdated. And so continually, if you have an interest in updating your LinkedIn profile in kind of a superpower way, let us know, because we have members who are really, really good at that. Thanks, Yelin, for all that you've done and all the work that you've accomplished at Global Chamber, and good luck with your next challenge. And thanks for all that you do. And I know you're you're hanging on long enough to be able to we'll have some comments and follow-ups on the app this week and ongoing, so that you'll, as members, everyone will be hearing more about the app now that it's in a state where it's ready to rock and roll. Thanks, Yellow. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Have a great rest of your Thursday.
Thank you, you too.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you so